Helen Johnston on the line. Hello, Helen. It's lovely to see you today.
Hello. How are you?
Very good, thanks. And you are a particularly interesting speaker today from the point of view that you work for FIT, Fast Track into Information Technology, which is a non-profit organization whose mission it is to create an inclusive smart economy by creating routes to marketable technical skills for job seekers and career changers, which is exactly what we have here today. So I look forward to hearing about this. You've about 20-25 minutes to talk, and then again, as we always say, if people have questions, you can pop it in the little chat function on the screen, and I'll come back to you at the end then with any questions. So Helen, if you are all good to go, I will let you take over.
Thank you very much. I am good to go.
Great.
So I can just share my screen now, can I?
You can, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Just bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, sure thing. This is always the fun part, the swapping over.
I just want to try and get to full screen.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys can see that now. Yeah, right, we have it.
There we go.
So again, I think it's already been said, we are a non-profit organization. So my name is Helen Johnston, and what I do is I recruit tech apprentices for a lot of companies around the country. And I work for a company called FIT, which again stands for Fast Track into Information Technology. We are a non-profit organization. We are a registered charity. And what we have always done is upskilled the unemployed in the area of IT. That has always been our focus. In the last few years, we have started the apprenticeship programs, which are obviously a departure for us, and they're open to everybody to do. So again, FIT's mission is to promote an inclusive smart economy by creating routes to marketable technical skills for job seekers and career changers wishing to pursue quality professions in Ireland's thriving digital economy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the apprenticeship program, what way it works, and the application process and what's involved in doing the program. And then if you have any questions at the end, I will try my best to answer them. So we have 3 apprenticeship programs. We have network engineering, software development, and cybersecurity. Each of our programs is 2 years long, which is 24 months. So it's not like 2 academic years, it's 24 months. I'll explain that in a few minutes. But what you need to know about FIT, we are the national coordinating providers. And so that means, it means a couple of things. We create the curriculum for the programs, we recruit the apprentices on board, we get the companies on board, we try to match applicants with companies, and when the program starts, we then manage the running of the programs. What we don't do is we don't do the training. So all the training is run through the ETBs, so the Education and Training Boards around Ireland. What it mostly means in essence is that most of these courses take place in what used to be FOSS training centres, which are now ETB training centres, or they take place in PLC colleges, sometimes in third-party locations, but mostly they would be the old FOSS training centres. The ETBs do the training, so we don't work within every ETB at the moment. Currently, we have programs running in Dublin, Cork, Dundalk, Athlone, Galway, and Sligo, I think. So we're looking to expand all the time. This is very new. We only started our first apprenticeships in 2018. So we had our first, in August 2018, we started a network engineering and a software development. And we had our first graduates then in 2020. So last really September, and the first 2 courses came out. We've had a few graduates since then. The cybersecurity is a bit newer. We only started our first cybersecurity apprenticeship in September 2019. So we won't have graduates until the end of this year. So we have like a lot of big IT companies on our board, and we would work with them to decide what curriculum to create. So basically, we go out to companies and we say, where are you struggling to find staff at an entry level in IT? And we create our curriculum based on what industry is telling us that it needs, where the shortage lies. So what you get out of these programs are, they're 2-year programs. They're all taught to NFQ level 6. They're City and Guilds qualifications. You get QQI certification and you do industry certification as well. So after 24 months, you have 18 months work experience and you have industry certification and internationally recognized qualifications. So the breakdown of the 24 months are, the first 6 months is pure training. So for the first 6 months, you are just in class. So we call that kind of an intensive boot camp for the first 6 months. You do about 50% of your overall training in the first 6 months. Then from month 7 and for the next year, so from month 7 to month 18, you are in company 3 days per week, and you're then in training 2 days per week. And then for the last 6 months, you're in company 4 days per week and you're only in training 1 day a week. So it starts where you're when you're purely in training, and then once after the first 6 months, you're mostly working to a point where at the end, you're only back in training 1 day per week. Over the 2 years, it works out as a 50-50 split. Okay, and again, it is 24 months. So it's like you do sign a contract with your company for 24 months. You get the same holidays as you would get if you were working with that company as well. So there's no cost to participants to do the program. If you're eligible to do the program, it is free for you to do. It is funded by SOLAS. I'm just going to go through the eligibility criteria. So you must be at least 18 years of age to apply. After that, it really is free for anyone to apply to. We have quite a good mix of age ranges, so anything from 18 up to about 55 years old at the moment. So, I'd say our average apprentice is probably in their late 20s or early 30s. You must have at least achieved a leaving cert to be eligible, which is 5 passes at ordinary level or above, and that has to include maths and English. So just be aware that if you did foundation maths or English, or if you failed maths or English in your leaving cert, you may not be eligible for the programme. That is only if the leaving cert is the highest level of education you've achieved to date. If you've gone on and done other education, then that's fine. It doesn't matter what you got on your leaving cert if you have graduated from a programme that's of a higher value, so QQI level 5 full award or higher. So then attitude, we're looking for motivated tech enthusiasts with an aptitude and a positive attitude to work in the ICT sector. That just means that you don't have to have previous education in the area, or you don't have to have previous work experience in the area, but you need to be able to show an interest. So what we mean by that is, if it's network engineering you're interested in, we're looking for people who maybe have built their own computers or have fixed computers in the past. If it's software development, we're looking for people who've maybe dabbled in a bit of coding. And then for cybersecurity, we're looking for people who have specific interest in cybersecurity and can talk about it. And then the last thing there is, you must be an EU citizen or hold a stamp 4 visa to be eligible. If you have a 1G spousal visa, you may be eligible for the program, but if it's just a 1G graduate visa, you're not eligible for this program. Okay, so really it's an EU citizen or a stamp 4 visa. Also, 1G spousal visa will be considered. There are specific criteria around that we have to have a look at to say whether you're eligible or not. So the 3 programs. So again, with network engineering, so I'm just going to read this because I always forget. The primary role of a network engineer is to design, install, maintain, and support communication networks within an organization or between organizations. So if that sounds like something that you'd like to do, maybe network engineering is for you. So it's more the hardware. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be like running cables or setting up computers, but you could be. You also could be sitting down configuring the computers or troubleshooting issues, that kind of thing, setting up IP addresses and subnets and all that kind of thing. So what you do in this program, what you do in this network engineering, you do City and Guilds full awards at level 3 and 4, which are aligned to NFQ level 5 and 6. And you do 2 industry certification. You do the CompTIA A+ and the CompTIA Network Plus. Okay, so that's the network engineering. Then we have software development. So the primary role of a software developer is to be able to build, test, and modify high quality code. So again, if you've tried coding and you really like it, and then maybe software development is for you. So for the software development, then again, you do City and Guilds awards at level 3 and 4, which again is aligned to NFQ level 5 and 6. And you do industry certification. Now, the difference between network engineering and software development is you kind of have a number of options with software development. So there's the way it's done, it's like there's like little streams. So it depends on which way you're going, whether you do 1 or 2 industry certifications. So for example, if it's front end, if it's web development, you'll do HTML and JavaScript certification. You could be doing Java, you could be doing Python, you could be doing databases, so you do SQL, or you could be doing cloud computing, so you might be doing, so with that one you do Azure and AWS. So it just depends on what stream you go down, how many certificates you get. They're kind of grouped together. And then for the cybersecurity, again, excuse me, the primary role of a cybersecurity associate is to maintain and support the network security of an organization. So again, if you like the idea of that, if you like the idea of trying to protect a system, look for weaknesses, try to make the system more robust, then maybe cybersecurity is for you. With cybersecurity, you do City and Guilds awards at level 3 and 4, but unlike the other 2 where they are full awards, for cybersecurity, you do component awards at level 3 and 4 City and Guilds, which again is aligned to level 5 and 6 on the NFQ. The cybersecurity program is focused more on industry certification. So this is what industry have told us that they want. So what you do is you do, let me get this list right in my head, you do CompTIA IT Fundamentals, CompTIA Network Plus, which you would also do if you're doing the network engineering. You do CompTIA Security Plus, CompTIA Security Analyst, and CompTIA Penetration Testing. So you do a lot of industry certification. It's quite full on. That's you do as part of, depending on which program you end up doing. Again, they're all QQI awarded as well. Like once you complete the program as a whole, you're awarded QQI level 5 and 6 certification too. Obviously, it is an apprenticeship, so it's an earn as you learn program format. So even though when you go into the company, you aren't with the company for the first 6 months, you're just in training for the first 6 months, the company pay you from day 1. So for the first year of the program, you get about 260 euros per week. And then in year 2, it goes up to 340, because at that point you already have 6 months experience and you've completed some of your exams. So that's the way that works, okay? So it's 260 euros per week for year 1, 340 euros a week per year for year 2. This is a list of just some of the companies that have taken on apprentices. There's, you know, your big multinational corporations, there's some smaller organizations, and the public sector and civil service as well. So it's just to give you an idea of the type of companies. Now this list is actually a little bit out of date. It's changed a good bit. There's a lot more, well, a good few more companies anyway now. So just to give you an idea, the next programs coming up are we are starting a network engineering program, which will run out of the Baldoyle Training Centre in June. I think that's pretty much full now. We're going to be running then a software development apprenticeship program that's going to start in Selbridge, probably in July, August, and also another software development program that will run out of the Loughlinstown Training Centre in August. We'll then be running another a cybersecurity program and a network engineering program in Selbridge. Again, we have a facility in Selbridge. It's quite easy to get to. It's not, especially if you drive, it's very handy. And then we also have programs that we're looking to run closer to the end of the year, more in Dublin, but also a cybersecurity in Galway, possibly, and a software development in Athlone, a software development in Dundalk, a software development in Cork, and a network engineering possibly in Cork as well. Yeah, I said cybersecurity for Galway, didn't I? Yeah. So they're the upcoming programs. So what you need to know is that not all these companies are obviously involved in every program. Some companies only take network engineers, some people don't take software developers, some people only take cybersecurity, and some companies take a mix. You'll see there, like some of the big companies, Microsoft, Accenture, Google, LinkedIn, they all take apprentices from us on a regular basis. But again, not everyone's going to end up in one of those big, top tech companies. That doesn't mean you're not going to get an excellent opportunity. So just then the application process. So step one of the application process, if you're interested at all in any of our programs, go to our website, www.fit.ie, and apply online. Once you apply online, then you will be invited to, at the moment, virtual information sessions, which are generally done by myself. It's a presentation quite similar to this, except I go into a lot more detail around things. And you have to do aptitude assessments as well. Following the aptitude assessments, then based on your aptitude assessments, we'll call you to interview with us, with FIT. And what we're looking for from our apprentices is we're looking for a commitment to the 2 years of the program, and again, the right attitude, a real positive, motivated, interested person. That's what we're looking for. So if we think you're a good fit based on your interview with us, we will look at your CV. We'll probably get you to make changes to your CV. We will do interview prep with you. And once the course starts, once we start for the course that you've applied for, we will send out CVs to companies to see whether any company will pick your CV for interview. Everyone will have to interview with at least one company before they get picked for an apprenticeship. What we can't guarantee is a place on the program. We have to have more applicants than we do places, because we have to be able to give companies choice of who they want to pick. So it really is about a 1 in 5 chance of getting placed on the program. But what I would say is that you can leave your CV with us as long as you like. So especially in the Dublin area, it mightn't be so feasible if you're looking in the country, like elsewhere in the country. But in Dublin, we run programs quite frequently, usually 2 or 3 of each program a year in the Dublin area. So if you are applying for an apprenticeship in the Dublin area, just because you don't get taken in on a specific intake, that doesn't mean your chance is gone. We can keep your CV and potentially put it forward for the next intake as well. So that's the apprenticeship program. Yeah, I think that's the end of my slideshow. So I don't know, do I have anything else to say? Not really. So that's it for now. So if anybody has any questions, maybe you could type them in the chat, and I'll try and answer them.
Great. Oh, let me just hit one button here. Oh, that was really interesting. Really interesting. and some great opportunities there. And there was so many things I liked about it, that it's network engineering, software development, and cybersecurity. Nice broad range, from the ages of 18 to 55.
Well, that's currently what we have.
Okay.
There's no upward age range really,
okay,
but that's our current age range. Yeah.
Great. I think that's brilliant. That the training is free will probably provide a lot of people with great hope, because it can be so expensive, I guess, to try and gain those skills. So that's brilliant. I was wondering, when you talk about if somebody is successful in an interview and they get the training, which involves them working with one or other of those companies whose names you put up, how would you see somebody like that advancing to the next stage in their career? Like, just because they do an apprentice, does that mean they're going to stay there in that job forever? Will they be able to upskill? Will they need to upskill?
They probably will need to upskill. I guess we're in a world where, you know, you have to constantly learn and upskill. We are training people for entry-level positions as an IT professional.
Okay.
So it's the beginning.
Yeah.
What we teach is very practical, maybe in comparison to doing, I don't know, a computer science degree where, you know, it can be very theoretical and you can be doing a bit of a lot of things. This is much more focused and practical. You are learning with a company. You sign a 2-year contract with the company. Once that 2 years is up, the company doesn't have to keep you on. For the most part, what we have found is that people who complete the program and have gotten on well in the company are kept on by the company.
Yeah. And even if it's a case that after the 2 years, they're much better armed to be able to then move on, maybe do an interview somewhere else and upskill and do more in other companies.
What I can say is, like, for example, we had, I think it was a network engineering program finish just there after Christmas. And we were looking, we know that not every single person was kept on by a company, but when another company came to us and said, look, we can't take on apprentices, but we're looking for a qualified person. Do you have any network engineers that have just recently qualified? We checked with that class and there was no one.
Oh.
So that just tells you. You know, now some people maybe have gone on to do a level 7 or a level 8 themselves. But like, I mean, once you have the experience, there's nothing holding you back. We get a lot of people applying who have done a computer science degree possibly, or something along those lines, that just can't get a foot in the door of industry. You know, so getting the experience is absolutely invaluable. So if it's something you're thinking of getting into the IT industry, it certainly is a good option to try.
Yeah, I think as well, what struck me, and I thought this was the most practical and logical thing I had ever heard, was that you are literally fit or creating the curriculum that industry is indicating they need people for. I mean, this makes such sense.
Yeah. And I mean, like, if you know, obviously I work for FIT, so I quite like it as an organization, but, you know, we're not necessarily tied the way maybe university is in the process that they have to go through to change their curriculum. So it might take them a long time to catch up, whereas we can really, you know, in a very short period, add to our curriculum or take away from our curriculum. So, for example, with the software development, again, like, we only started these first ones 3 years ago, not even. So with the software development, when we started, it was quite C# focused. Now I think Microsoft themselves are moving away from C#, and we offered an industry certification in C#. We've stopped doing that and we've added Python and cloud instead.
Okay.
You know, so we can respond quite quickly. We can change our curriculum quite quickly to respond to industry need. What
a super advantage to have over some other, maybe perhaps education outlets. So just to remind people, it's fit.ie.
Yeah.
And because there was a list, and you went through it absolutely thoroughly, of eligibility criteria. But for maybe if people didn't quite catch it, it will all be on the FIT website, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
Right, so that'll give you all the details there. And I suppose generally then, if people are interested, I know we're down to the last few minutes of the day now, and I know you've had a virtual stand here all day. So if people are interested to look at the criteria for eligibility and maybe take a little bit of time looking at your website.
Absolutely, yeah. Look at our website. Even on the stand, I uploaded a little video, which just is like basically what I said here, but maybe just in a little nicer, little 3-minute nugget. And I also uploaded our brochure, which again will give you a lot of the information that I talked about here as well. Perfect. Go onto our website if you're interested. Again, apply online, and again, we regularly do reach out to applicants to bring them in for information sessions.
That's brilliant, fantastic. Listen, thank you so much, Helen. It was a real pleasure to get to listen to you speak about FIT. So for people, fast track into information technology. You probably just like me remember it as fit.ie. But thank you so much. That seems to be an absolutely great resource. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for coming to chat to us today here at the Virtual Recruitment. Thanks.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Bye so now. Listen, we're wrapping up at this stage. And let me just say, firstly, thanks to everyone who took part in the Virtual Recruitment Expo event today. Employers, speakers, career coaches, our sponsors, indeed Irish MedTech SkillNet. And if you've missed any of the talks today, they're all going to be available on the website shortly enough, virtualrecruitment.ie. And they're also going to be on the social channels, so Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Insta. So if people are accusing you of being distracted, you can just tell them you're looking back at videos from Virtual Recruitment on your Instagram, and you'll just be a couple of minutes more. Definitely worth giving a look back though. A lot of great stuff there. Our virtual event platform will stay open over the coming days, and you can continue any conversations that you've actually started with employers and career coaches and make the connections that you need to explore new opportunities for your career. So we have another virtual event planned. The next one takes place on June the 24th. And that's Tech Careers Expo.